Hi everyone, Chad Shoop here, and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Federal Reserve, and that's going to be a topic for the next few weeks for me in my videos, so don't get tired of hearing about them. Instead, the Fed is just a major focal point of the markets right now, and it's very important that we understand the Fed, what they're looking at, and what they may or may not do in the coming weeks. So it's going to be a key topic for me, plus many others, and I just want to make sure that you're ready for those moves that the market may make based on the Fed. So before we jump into that, just make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that way you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos. And if you enjoy the content that I post here, just give it a thumbs up to let me know. Now, the Federal Reserve, it's a big topic in the markets, and the reason is because the markets and President Trump have been very vocal that they want the Fed to cut rates. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. What do you think the Fed should do? Should they cut rates to please the market and to please Trump, or should they cut rates just because they went too far in 2018 with their rate hikes, or should they leave rates alone and just follow the data? You can drop me a comment below and I'll be sure to chime in. But today I'll get the conversation going by talking about my view on the Fed, what they should do, and how that's going to impact the stock market. And now the important thing to understand is that the markets have baked in this assumption that the Fed will cut rates at its meeting next week. And in fact, they've not only set the odds at a 100% chance of a rate cut, but they are also expecting to see 2 more rate cuts by early 2020. So this puts a lot of pressure on the Fed by making these big assumptions, and we all know what happens when you assume things. You make an ass out of you and me. So that tends to be the case, and that's at least how the saying goes. And right now with the stock market making these big assumptions and assuming that the Fed is going to cut rates as pretty much a guarantee at its next meeting, sets the market up for a big disappointment if the Fed fails to deliver. And when you look at the current market environment, the current economy, and you look at the data that it's giving us, it tells us that the Fed may not cut rates at this meeting. Because when you ask everyone why the Fed needs to cut rates, why the Fed has to do it at this meeting, they point to economic weakness and say that now's the time for the Fed to cut rates to continue to stimulate the economy. But then when you look at the recent economic data, it's coming in very strong. We had our first quarter GDP came in at 3.1%. That's the 3rd highest GDP growth that we've seen in the last 14 quarters. Now we have retail sales coming in above expectations and in positive territory. The Philadelphia Fed survey showed that there was a strong surge in manufacturing in July. So we're having this data come in that's showing strength in the economy, showing strength at different levels in the economy as well. And this is at a time that other people are telling us that the economy is weak, and that's just based on some earlier data in the second quarter that was weak, but now this data is looking strong and the economy is still holding its strength. So the need for a Fed rate cut is diminishing as we get closer to this Fed meeting, and the Fed has to take this recent data into account. And that's why I think that there's a significant chance that we don't get a rate cut at this meeting next week, and that's going to lead to a major disappointment for the stock market. And the result is that stocks are going to dip. So in order for you to be prepared to take advantage of that dip, I wanted to give you today, and in my article that's associated with this video, I wanted to provide with you a way to hedge your portfolio a little bit and to possibly profit if there's a pullback in the market. And that's with the put option on the S&P 500 ETF, the SPDR S&P 500 ETF, also known as the SPDR ETF. The ticker is SPY. You can grab a put option on that and benefit from a pullback, but now's the time to grab the put option, because as we approach the big event, the Fed meeting next Wednesday, there's going to be increased volatility in the market. So you want to get that position on now to benefit from any sudden pullback that we may see after that announcement. So below this video, you can find a link to the full article that I'll give you the exact put option that I recommend and how to benefit from that, plus a little more insights on the Fed and why I don't think that they will cut rates at this meeting. So be sure to check that out. And besides that, I'm excited about the opportunities that this Fed meeting presents. I'm entering into some positions this week in my seasonal service, Automatic Profits Alert, that I'm excited that they will benefit from a short-term pullback in the stock market, and it lines up perfectly with their seasonal analysis for these sectors. So if you want to learn more about that, and if you're interested in getting into these trading opportunities, then I've also included a link below this video that I'll share with you those details and how seasonal trends line up with these market moves that we are seeing right now. So if you want to join us or just learn more about those trends, just scroll below and click the link below this video. Well, that's all for my video today. Be sure to tune in next week, because I'm going to talk about how if the Fed decides not to cut rates, that's the best thing for the stock market, even if we go through a short-term pullback. and if on the flip side, if they do cut rates at this July 31st meeting, that it could be the end of the stock market bull run as we know it. So be sure to tune into that video to understand the in and outs of the Fed meeting and what it holds for the stock market. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up below so that way I know you liked it. Remember to subscribe to my channel and just click the bell if you want to get notified when I upload a new video. Well, until next time, I'm Chad Shoup.